Hello and welcome to Scottish Car Enthusiasts and Trains TV, the COVID Sessions Part 2, where we are taking a look at the Practical Classics magazine from April to May 2022. And once again, I apologise if my voice sounds a bit croaky. That's due to testing positive for COVID. So we're starting this section off at 25 essential drives. These are the 25 essential cars you should be driving before you die. So let's have a look. So here is the start of some of the cars that they'd like to meet. So the first one is a Detasmo Mangusta, a Lamborghini Countach, a Pontiac Firebird Trans Am, and it's very rare to see that in a different colour from black. So there you go. So if you're a fan of Knight Rider, then this car might appeal to you. Austin 7 Special, and another film car, the DeLorean DMC-12. A Volkswagen Beetle, a Citroen 2CV, a Volvo 240 Series Estate. Everybody has to drive a Mini at some point in their life, so a Mini Cooper. And the Ford Model T. Citroen Traction Avant. A Mazda MX-5. A Rolls-Royce Corniche, a Jensen Interceptor, and a Jaguar E-Type. A Morris Minor Traveller, a Reliant Regal, a Honda Insight, and one of my personal favourites here is the Rover P6, an Austin Maxi, how about an MGB GT? Everybody has to drive an Alfa at some point, so why not an Alfa GTV TS? Again, the BMW 3 Series E30. How about a Citroen XM? Or a Mark V Volkswagen Golf? The next advert we have here is for Heritage Parts Centre. 25,000 plus parts in stock for classic VW and Porsche. And we moved to Scotland and never looked back. So this is a Resto Hero. The story of Kyle and Aaron Clark's passion for cars began long before they were born. So the final straw came in 1991 for the Clarks. They awoke at home in Kent to find their beloved 1967 Ford Corsair, which had restored together, wrecked by vandals. Scratches down each side and windows smashed. The car was in a sorry state, and a life-changing decision followed. Andy and wife Andrea were expecting their first baby. Andy says they'd had enough, and we both agreed there was no way we were going to bring up kids into the world, so we got rid of everything, quit his job, Andrea sold her business, and they moved to Scotland. And here's some of the cars that they have on their fleet. So they've got a 1968 Van Dam Princess 4 litre, 1928 AC Royal, 1990 Land Rover Defender, and a 1940 Sentinel, which is housed at the Grampian Transport Museum. And they've restored this lovely 1969 Austin 1100. Here's an advert for Built Hamber. And Blaze of Glory. Mark simply had to rescue this £300 Peugeot 306 Cabrio after it nearly went up in flames. So it was found that the Peugeot's rear end bore the brunt of the fire. That integrated high-level brake light, which is unique to the Cabrio, was particularly difficult to find, but specialists in social media enthusiasts came to rescue with all manner of parts. Trim parts are getting increasingly difficult to find for once commonplace cars of this era, so Mark counts himself lucky that his 306's interior had managed to escape the ravages of the fire. And this lovely 306 has been entered into Restorer of the Year. It's taken Mark 11 months and spent £3,000. Mark discovered a huge bodge under the bonnet where both a fan and complete shroud should have been cut, had been cut from another car and had been made to fit. So we're just on to the letters page now. Do you still use old running-in stickers? Does anybody remember when that running-in sticker stopped appearing on cars? Chromie Rover, Quick Posts, tell us about your Panda. Apparently you can get 7 St Bernards in a Panda Mark 1. And somebody's looking for a 1934 Morris Minor Saloon that was bought by his grandfather in 1938. It was stored in a stable for the 60s until the mid-70s, and sold on in the 80s. So does anybody know where you can find this car? And there's a lovely little mini 1275 GT there. And there's the monthly crossword. A nostalgia trip back to the 70s. Lovely SD1 there. Lovely Merc 280. Another quick post section is classic Datsun anyone. The little Sunny 1.3 there. I had a Datsun Cherry from new. The only thing I would say against it was that on getting out of the car, it was like being connected to the national grid. I know that feeling quite well with the Cactus. It's a 1969 Bedford CA Romney Dormobile. And who remembers the Volkswagen Polo Harlequin? And this is a subject we've been talking about on with YouTubers. That it seems to me that modern car colours are so boring nowadays when you think about the 70s and 80s when you had multiple bright colours like Applejack on the Allegro or Blaze on the Allegro as well. And I think Tahiti Blue maybe was possibly another colour. Your cars, the classics you love, drive and restore. So this is a family, the Walker family, who have a love for Vauxhalls from 1986 Belmont GL, a 91 Belmont GL, a 92 Nova 1.2, a 1986 Nova 1.3L, and a 1983 Chevette 1200. Little minivan there. Moving on, we have a Cortina Crusader. Moving on to there is a Rover 1110 P4. Moving on, we've got a 1976 Williams Cyclo, which is car of the month. Before moving down to this lovely Opel Monza GSE, or Open Monza, as it's spelled there. MGB GT. And here is a Renault 25 Phase 2 from 1989. And we're just going to finish up on this last two pages for part 2. So it's a lovely 1968 Austin Freeliter, 1942 Scammell TRM U30, a 1965 Mini Cooper, a 1933 Austin 7, Next we have 1968 Daimler V8, before moving over to 1951 Riley RMB, and lastly, in part 2, we have a 1999 Alfa Romeo, which 166 3 litre, which apparently was a bit of a mad purchase. So, that's it for part 2 of the COVID sessions, looking at Practical Classics April to May 2022 edition. We'll be back very soon with part 3. But for a moment, don't forget to like and subscribe at Scottish Car Enthusiasts and Trains TV, and we'll catch you in a future video.